Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. You have some exciting stuff in flight right now.
I do. Literally, an email just went out that I'm pretty stoked about. So we built an integration with Close, the CRM, and it's been kind of in the works for, I would say, about a month, maybe a little longer. I had a whole checklist of items leading up to a nice launch from both of our sides, and just saw an email went out from the Close team. So I'm super stoked.
Nice. Are you going to be refreshing metrics on this call?
Probably. At least web analytics,
Yeah.
See what's going on.
That's very cool. How did that come about?
Some of the founders of Close are actually involved with TinySeed also. So we'd sort of been swimming in that circle together already. And I'd had a chat with their team, this was about a year ago, I think. And we just sort of talked about an integration could be cool. And it was earlier on in the product, so it wasn't quite the right timing to zero in on a very niche integration like that. We were still kind of building foundational stuff. So sort of been on the radar for a little while. And then we just sort of restarted conversations in the last few months and said hey, I think this could be, the right timing for us to build it. And they became customers and have been loving SavvyCal. So they could also see kind of the potential of what it could be for their customers. And so it's very much like the ideal kind of integration where it's sort of mutually beneficial for both of us, right? I obviously want more sales teams to learn about SavvyCal as a product. And I think similarly, they want their customers to have access to something that natively integrates. I think most of the other tools are required to go through Zapier. So we're one of the only tools that has a really tight native integration with their API. So
nice.
Yeah.
How was that? Was that tricky?
There were definitely some tricky parts to figure out. And so I felt like there was a little bit of moat digging with that. It wasn't extremely straightforward, but I feel really, really good about how we got it set up.
You've done a couple integrations in your day.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, Taylor this is one of his big kind of first projects that he really owned. But he also, was with me at Drip and had built a lot of integrations there too. So it's sort of our bread and butter.
Nice. Taylor's the new developer.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That must have been exciting to have a project that someone else worked on take place. That
so
wasn't
good.
you.
So good. Yeah.
Is that not amazing?
Oh, it's so amazing. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I will say just in general, this has been the season of life that I'm in, just even outside of work, has been pretty stressful and busy, I would say. I am just feeling very grateful when I think about my work life, very grateful to have a team that can keep pushing things forward and for recurring revenue, to be honest. To have an engine that's spinning and turning, and even when I feel like I at times have my eye off the ball because there's just a lot of other craziness happening, things kind of keep chugging along.
Totally. That's so nice. And the crazy thing is, you could probably stop everything and it would not just keep going, but probably accelerate.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's interesting to watch. Sometimes we do something where we feel like this might yield a big spike in business or something, and then it looks relatively flat. And then other times I'm I haven't been shouting from the rooftops on Twitter at all, or really doing much build in public, and we haven't really had any particular campaigns going. And then there's just a big spike in metrics, and a bunch of new customers show up, and it's oh, wow. It's crazy how uncorrelated those things seem at times. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Sometimes you do wish it were clearly attributable to something.
Yes, for
what,
sure.
What did I do? Where is this coming from? It's don't worry about it. It's just keep doing good things, and these things will happen.
Yeah.
At unknown intervals.
Yep.
Cool. Congrats on the ship.
Thank you. Yeah.
Are you and Taylor going to do the shot?
We need to, man. I still have a bottle in my cabinet, so I think I need to bring that to our next meetup. For those who don't know, we have a Drip tradition that was taking a shot of Launch Juice, and Launch Juice is this apple cider vinegar called Fire Cider that has peppers in it. It's super, super spicy. It was just a little tradition we had at Drip, and it's one that I definitely want to carry over to my new team.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. What else is going on?
Let's see. We also have another launch forthcoming. So this is really kind of a launchy month of kind of the work we've put in for the last couple of months. So yes, so we have meeting polls, which are live in everyone's account, but haven't done like the big push for that yet. So
yeah, that was the thing that like I sort of didn't realize you could disconnect so easily. Like shipping the thing to users and then promoting it later.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's a nice move to have. It's good to remember that's an option.
Totally. Yeah. Even companies that have a lot of customers, it's sometimes hard to get the amount of like usage by inviting people to like try out a new feature and give you really good feedback. Like it's hard to get the volume that you want to feel comfortable with before doing a big push. So I've found like, especially when you're smaller, like just shipping stuff softly and surfacing it in the UI for people and getting organic usage and organic feedback is like super helpful. Like I had a list of people who had said explicitly like, yes, I definitely I need this feature and I want to try it out when you have it ready. And I emailed those folks and it was like there was a conversion rate on that email. So only a couple people tried it out in the span of time that I was hoping to get feedback on. So I found it to just be a really effective tool to just put it out there. And you're probably not actually going to cannibalize much, marketing juice from it just by letting people have access. So, yeah.
Don't tell anyone, but we're kind of doing that with the Linux client.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. It is quietly wired up to the app already. Like you can download it when you sign up for an account. So like it's an open beta as opposed to a closed beta.
Oh, nice.
We're planning on like holding off until like we say, okay, it's out of beta, it's a thing, here's the launch event, that sort of thing.
Yep.
It's not a secret, but it's not totally open. It's in between.
So do you have a sense for like how many people signing up are opting for the Linux client versus the Mac?
Well, so we haven't gotten around to analytics for the Linux client yet.
Okay. Got it.
So it's not zero because we see people, submitting bug reports or saying they had good experiences or whatnot. So it's happening, but
okay.
I couldn't tell you how many yet.
Okay. All right.
This is partly why it's not ready for the full marketing release yet.
Sure. Yep.
But coming soon.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah. You mentioned things like it's kind of like a rough season for you. Anything you want to get into?
Not particularly. It's mostly just kind of personal life stuff that I can't really dive into. But yeah, it's just a season where like I'm kind of, needing to be a little bit less attached to work and a little more, like working with humans outside of work, I guess. And so it's uncomfortable for me in one sense because my normal cadence is so much like so work centric, I guess. Like I'm married, but I don't have kids. And a lot of my, I'm used to pouring copious amounts of my like deep work energy into my business. I mean, it's probably in one sense, a healthy thing for me to get some perspective that like, that life definitely exists outside of building SaaS companies, and it often deserves your attention more than your business at times. So yeah.
I find that really tough though when like my personal life is stressful. Like when business stress gets added on top of that, it feels super overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm thankful that like it has been a relatively unstressful like season in business. Like, growth is like metrics aren't like all out of whack or anything, and support volume is manageable. There's not a lot of bug reports. Like those things are definitely, I'm glad that I'm not fighting fires on both fronts, I guess. There are times where I sit down to work and it's like, wow, my brain literally is having trouble computing the task in front of me right now. And I'm just going to show up and do my best, and that's all you can do sometimes.
You ship very fast, and you probably have also like built up a lot of goodwill in the interim. So if there's like a slower shipping period, I don't think people will feel like overall like, oh, SavvyCal is just sitting there stagnant. Yep.
I would be much more stressed if I didn't have Taylor on the team, So like if, some days all I do is kind of get code review done, do our stand up, collaborate on making sure that like he has good solid direction on what he's building next. And that's the highest leverage activity for me to do, I think, is make sure that he's able to keep moving. So I feel good about being able to do that.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have some stuff. Want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. Talking to users is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. And so like we do a decent amount of asking for feedback in like written form, like via like surveys and tweets and emails, things like that. I hadn't had like a live call with a customer in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was shaping the call URLs feature that we talked about last time, I did some live calls with a few customers, and it was so good. It's just so energizing to talk to someone that likes the product, like in a way that I like. Obviously it is, but I just in my head, talking like live on a call feels like a little bit of a chore. It's like a little bit like eating your vegetables. It's like, yeah, I'll eat the vegetables. It's not the most fun thing to eat, but I know it's really good for me. But then in practice, it's like eating cake. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And so part of it was just the energy of like someone that likes the product telling you so, but also it was amazing to get lots of little extra bits of feedback that weren't the main point of the conversation. So like I set up these calls to discuss what we were planning on building for the new feature, and we did, but also people would just offer other thoughts and like just throw out other little things. And one of them was like just so I posted that photo of like my like literally face palming on the call.
Yeah.
Because so I'm on a session with this person, and he was like, "Is it possible to invite people outside my team to Tuple?" And I was like, "Yeah, you click the add user button in the UI." And he was like, "Oh, what?" And he was like, "Where is that?" And I was like, "It's at the top." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't really look like a button. I don't think I ever saw that. I definitely have never clicked it."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like it's like a very subtle icon that has no it might have a hover state, but it barely like doesn't have any outline. It doesn't have a label. It's like 28 pixels wide or something. And it was like, that's the button in the UI that when people click it,
that creates expansion revenue.
We make more money. And we have very subtly hidden it up in the header next to some other stuff that's not nearly as important. Wow. So that's your fault, by the way.
That's my bad. Yeah. I think I designed that.
You did design it. It's really, I mean, it's my fault because I signed off on it. It's my fault for not talking to users earlier, I guess. But so it was like, wow, like we're 4 years into this product at this point. And like the button that when clicked makes Tuple more money is incredibly subtle and easy to miss. And I was like, Jesus, it's amazing how much low-hanging fruit there is. Like it's so hard to make good software, but it sure gets a lot easier when you talk live to people that are your customers. Like I don't think he would have sent that feedback in via some other mechanism. It was an aside. We were talking about something else. And he was like, "Oh, by the way, is it possible to do this?" And I discovered through that random aside, like this sort of massive gap, which was quite an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
So that was great. Turns out if you talk to users, you will get good ideas for improving your product. It's also fun. It's like affirming. And so I've been thinking, I think we need like a Tuple brain trust for the people that are kind of stand out feedback givers. Some sort, like brain trust is my working term for it, but some sort of small group of trusted advisors from a like product point of view, like passionate users. People are using it a lot. People that evangelize it, that want us to succeed, that give good, thoughtful feedback, that have good gripes, that kind of thing. I think I want maybe like 6 people, not even that many, and being selective with it, but then involving them at like maybe the early, like really early phases, and often like here's the design doc, here's the Figma file, here's the channel where we're discussing this. Like have people like just sort of continuously involved in the process.
Yeah, interesting. I know Stripe does this kind of thing because I will get emails. I don't know what their process is, but I'll get emails with like, "Hey, do you want to like review something super, super early for this thing, like Figma level early?" But I have no idea what their what their like process looks like for managing that, or like how big those lists are of people that they tap and such.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yes. I think they do. They definitely do that a lot. There definitely are lists. I don't know how it works either. We probably don't need quite that scale, whatever their process is.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna guess
divide by 1,000 and then,
correct. Yeah. So I think it's just going to be, I think I'm just going to start looking out for the people that I feel like give really useful feedback and that I enjoy talking to and see if they want to do this.
Yeah. So sort of like extending your product thinking to like extending the amount of dogfooding. Like I'm assuming these are all people who are regularly like using Tuple and have a sense for like maybe picking up on more subtle areas where it could be improved, right?
Yeah. And just helping us make sure we built the right thing. I think we've done too much trusting our own opinions to some extent. Like, it's worked out okay. I think the app is good. I feel pretty confident in my ability to make decent software, but it's just definitely better with that feedback. So I want us to get better about that. I think that's going to be kind of a big unlock. And I just have sort of stopped doing it. We just kind of got away from that for a while. And we still get feedback. We still pay a lot of attention to that. We're soliciting it in like various automated ways, but it's it's like that like real conversation you have, and the showing people early things, early drafts before you're like, oh, sorry, it's locked in. I wish it worked like that too, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So are you thinking about like codifying this at all into any of your process? Like when starting a new feature, like include this as part of the shaping phase, or is this going to be more organic, like go by feel? Like, does this one feel like we need?
I don't like codifying things into processes. Just philosophically, I guess, or sort of constitutionally, it just doesn't make me that happy. So if there were a document that said how to make a new feature in Tuple, I think I would put this on it, but I'm not that interested in that document existing for some reason. Maybe this is a blind spot. Maybe it should. Like if you discover a best process.
Then it's just tribal knowledge if it's not codified, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Not saying I'm great at doing that, but I am like, this has been a point that I've thought about a lot, is like the talking to customers thing, because I have similarly like had great experiences with it. And I think one of the things that stops me from doing it more is like a fear that it's too unscalable or something, which is probably not a rational fear. You know, it's like, I think I'll probably pick up something every time I do one, but it's always the fear of like, but perhaps not. And then I've like interrupted deep workflow for a call that didn't really yield much or something. Like, you know, there's always risk in any task we put on our plate, right? So I've been trying to think about like, well, I don't know, if I make it more explicit in my process, I'm like, no, you just need to do this thing like as part of some, you know, as part of your flow, like, and make it, otherwise it's just going to get like, for me, it's just going to probably never get done or not part of my regular flow.
You think you'll obey the process doc?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. I mean, there's good argument for it, which is like, when you discover a good way of doing something, why not throw it on a checklist to make sure you don't drift away from doing that good thing, or at least consider doing the good thing? And it helps other people know how the process works and can maybe take over the process for you. So I think there's definitely some benefits to it. I question whether I would follow the process all the time.
Yeah. You're a rule breaker.
Yeah. But maybe if it's like just a checklist of like good ideas or something, more than a strict guide. So anyway, talking to users is a good thing. Also, you know what else is good?
What?
Reform.
Ooh, yeah. Big fan.
Reform is good. I got kind of sick of Typeform. Every time I logged into it, it seemed like the UI was slower. Like we have enough forms, not even that many. I have like 40 or something, and like their like index page just like loaded so slowly, and it just started feeling worse and worse. And eventually, I was just like, "This is obnoxious," and I went and signed up for Peter's thing, and we signed up, used it a little bit, and then we actually recently swapped over our most used Typeform to it on Monday. And the process of like spinning it up and getting it going and testing it out was really nice. The UI was surprisingly well designed, I felt like, for a sort of smaller indie app.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. yeah, I know this is going to be music to Peter's ears, because I spent a lot of time with him in the early days of him like kind of shaping the product and thinking about positioning and stuff. And like, that was one of my early insights, was that as a Typeform user or former Typeform user, like, it just, every time I went in there, it felt like I was like creating a PowerPoint presentation or something. There's just so many elements that felt clunky, and like, no, I just want it to look good by default, and I don't want to think about like all these little bits, and the UI is like moving very slowly. There's spinners everywhere. So like, those were some of the key insights early on, and I know it's going to be fun for him to hear that, like, that was sort of your path to like to discovering.
Did he do the UI design himself?
Yeah, I think so.
Very nice.
Him and Bjorn. Okay. I'm not sure what their exact split is, but he kind of has an eye for design. I think he does a lot of the design himself.
Well, good job, folks. Steven and I paired on that. Like, I shared my screen while we were doing it, and it was like, I think we were both kind of like, this is really nice. Mm-hmm. And like, it was one of those nice things where it was like, how do we do this? It's like, oh, there it is. Like, it's in the place I looked for it. Oh, we need to do this thing. Oh, yep. Okay. There it is. Great. Nice. We just like every one of our sort of trickier things, we found roughly where we wanted it, and pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They nailed a lot of the intuitiveness, I think. I've had that's been my similar experience. And like using like arrow keys through things, like, and tabbing function, like, it all just sort of, they have really paid attention to the details to make sure it goes smoothly.
Yep. Yeah. Super nice.
Yeah. Kudos to them.
We also just did a new release this morning.
Cool. What's in that?
Some stuff. Well, first off, it's 6 megabytes smaller, which you love to see. Same product, but now lighter weight. Tossed like half a meg of dependencies, and then a bunch of other stuff, which always feels good. This release actually is a big under the hood release. I know I've spoken before about how we were building a cross-platform engine that handles the heavy lifting for tuple calls. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the goal was pull out everything that's not platform specific, and then use that to run the call stuff on all of the platforms, and then have a UI specific, like a platform specific UI built for each operating system. And so we pulled out this engine, but actually in the beginning, only the Linux client was using it. The Mac client was still on its old kind of complected together situation. But as of this release, the Linux and the Mac OS app are both running on the extracted engine.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's got to feel good.
Got to feel good. It does feel good. So this is kind of like, this is like the victory lap of 18 months of work or something.
Yeah.
This process started a long time ago.
Did this feel like a risky release, since like so much of the under the hood stuff changes?
Totally. Okay. The good news is you and I are using it right now. So far, so good. No problems. We QA'd it a lot, so we're still using Aspiratech for QA. They've been great. We also have been dogfooding it for about a month internally. All of my tuple sessions, all of tuple sessions have been on the staging build for about a month now. So I think we fixed a lot of stuff that way too. But yeah, we pushed it this morning, and like no new crashes. Call stats are looking good. No crazy support requests coming in. So I think we might have done it.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, I imagine that kind of change probably it only gets harder the more customers you have and the more like features you have baked into the product. So
totally. Yep.
Glad you guys got that. Got the big abstraction work done now. I'm sure it's got to feel great.
Me too. Yeah, no, it feels good. Projects like these, where there isn't like an immediately user evident benefit, those are always the ones you want to like just get done. Because it's like, yes, we agree this is important for the long-term health of the business or of the product, but on release day, no one is going to be particularly excited. So let's get this out. We pushed a couple quality of life improvements for webcam stuff, which is cool. Still no self view.
Okay. Come on, man.
Although the shrieking masses are growing in volume, I feel like. I don't know how much longer I can hold them off.
We will prevail eventually.
But it was always a few more clicks to share a webcam than I liked.
Yeah.
And so we've added some don't show me this preview again functionality.
Okay. Yeah.
Sort of default to the last webcam I shared sort of thing. Just a few things to save a couple clicks if you use webcam a lot. So that's a nice, I'm glad to have that out there. It was nice because that was like one day I was just like, this is too many clicks, Steven. This is annoying. And I was like, I'm just going to make an issue right now. And I just like wrote up what I wanted. And a few days later, we had it. It was harder than I expected, as always. There are just no small features, even when I think they're tiny. It's crazy how the smallest checkbox or preference or something, behavior change is like, oh, what about in this situation? Like, oh yeah, what about in that situation? Or, oh, there's just not an API that gives us this thing. What do you want to do now? It's like, okay. So I thought it was going to be super quick. It ended up being fairly quick, but it's out now. That's nice.
One little customer feedback thing on the webcam is, and I may have mentioned this in the past, but I feel like about 50% of the time when Taylor and I are starting a session, we just do like stand-ups over it and occasionally share screens, but a lot of times we're just doing webcam. I think when he often sees the preview, he thinks that it's shared already. So like we often have this moment where it's like, all right, hey, how's it going? And then like pause for a second and like getting webcams fired up. And then it's like, all right. Then we start talking. I'm like, oh, did you share your webcam? Oh, and you click the button. So like, just that little like, just thought that insight might be helpful.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's so the preview is of yourself, which I think people associate with their screen share being active, or their webcam being active.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what people are used to. Like, oh, you share it and then you see yourself, and so he's like, oh, I see myself. I'm sharing.
Exactly. That's the baked in, mental thing, I think.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, that's good to know.
But until self view is shipped, I'll just click the little thing and keep the panel open while I'm talking to it.
Is that what you do?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
Because I want self view.
You're wrong. Why do you want self view?
I just feel better. About it. I don't know, man.
Why don't you put a mirror next to your computer and just stare at yourself all the time? Do you know how much less work you would get done if you had a mirror next to your monitor?
You should write a KB doc.
I'm going to. Why Tuple will never have self-view, and you're wrong for wanting it. .com.
That's hilarious. It's just a comfort thing with
I know.
Being accustomed to that from blame Zoom. I don't know. Blame web conferencing for baking that in.
I think the official excuse is that it's a comfort thing, but actually it's a vanity thing. But I don't know how much longer I can fight this battle.
Yeah. I mean, there is certainly an element of like wondering, is something weird with my hair? Am I out of frame? Like, I don't know. There's just like, that's where I feel like a compromise could be just a little one in the corner,
I'm going to do that.
In picture.
Yeah. We're going to do the little tiny one. If people want it bad enough, if I don't have a deep philosophical objection, although I sort of do. I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll do the tiny preview. I think that's the way to do it. And default it off. Apply a blur to it.
You can't count your own pores in it. It's not that high def. It's not 4K. Just
Yep. Yes. Fine. I had a fun chat with Jack Ellis about enterprise sales.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you go on their podcast or?
I did not. Although in retrospect, I wish it had been a podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I got rolling, I was in the zone. It's nice to talk to someone a bit behind you in the journey you're on, because they're just like considering doing their first deals, and we've done a bunch now. And so it was great to be like, oh yeah, I've definitely learned a lot of things about this. I have like a lot of thoughts on this. It was really fun to share them, and it was good to have someone there to prompt me, like ask me the questions, and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting topic actually. And it made me really feel like I wanted to make some sort of educational thing. It was just like, okay, I'm at a phase now where it's all fresh. And I remember the kind of beginner mindset, and I remember the frustrations. And I think I could write the like intermediate guide to like getting started with this, like from beginner to intermediate sort of thing. And I want to, I haven't done any teaching in a while.
Yeah, you had mentioned that like maybe earlier in the year, something I think you were talking about wanting to do more teaching.
Yeah. I kind of miss it. It's an impulse that shows up in me, and I really enjoy doing it. And it's just fun to create little producty things. That's just part of my DNA at this point, I think. So I want to do something. I don't quite know what it is. I actually got a little inspired when I saw Nathan Barry's paid drip email course, which I think is kind of a cool model for a educational product. I like the thing where it's like, oh, there's X emails now, but like I'll probably add some in the future, maybe. And like, so I can kind of like write when I'm inspired and then like ignore it. And it's like, as long as I feel comfortable with the price being what it is for the emails that are there, it's kind of legit. I think it's kind of a cool model for that sort of thing. But I've even just been thinking of like what if I made a conference talk about this and then just gave it to my webcam and said, this is a $500 video course on whatever or something. That appeals too.
Yeah. Do you feel like you would need to charge for it to be interesting?
It makes it more interesting. It makes the annoying parts feel more worth it. I could see not charging for it and like putting it under Tuple's brand, just like making a marketing asset for Tuple. I could see giving it away for free under me.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Just when you mentioned charging, the thought popped in my head, but I don't really have well-formed thoughts around it, honestly. I mean, what are you primarily hoping to achieve with this? Is it to maximize amount of like Ben knowledge sharing and goodwill put out into the world? Then I would say like release it for free. If it's like, well, there are some annoying parts of this, I could totally understand like the having some cash flow attached to it just shaves off the pain of that a little bit. So I guess like whatever you're optimizing for, really.
Yeah. I sort of like the money thing. I mean, why not? Side revenue is cool. I feel like it ups the seriousness of it in a way. Or like, I feel it'll make me take it a little bit more seriously, like make sure I've made something really good. And it's kind of like a nice scorecard where it's like, oh, I know this is valuable. People are paying for it and not asking for refunds. It kind of does position it nicely where it's like, oh, this is kind of expensive. It's for people that would rather be programming but have lucrative enterprises reaching out to them who want to buy their SaaS in a complicated way. And so if you do this right, you could possibly make lots of money. And so this thing should not just be a free article or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a topic that would be pretty interesting to a lot of people who are normally sort of allergic to the idea of sales, but like are leaving a lot of money on the table.
That is my target market.
Yeah.
And I think I would niche it all the way down to that, which is like enterprise sales for someone who would rather be coding.
Mm-hmm.
I have this sort of like vision, which is like, could I make the thing that like in some wiki at Y Combinator, they say, if you start having people who want to buy your software for expensive things, like go read this or like go buy this. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of like the hacker's guide to doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is could I make a really good quick start thing for people that are in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why won't you just go pay with a credit card? This is so annoying. Like, read Ben's thing and you will understand what to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a weekend project. I've always enjoyed side projects as like domains for exploration. Like when I was working at Thoughtbot, I launched a bunch of little things, and it was just great to get practice doing stuff and trying things. And what if I tried a weird pricing scheme over here? Or what if I tried a whole different approach to a landing page? Or it's nice to try stuff out in a low stakes environment.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Domains for exploration. I like that as a concept. Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of exploration, exploring, we keep moving around our enterprise pricing strategy. And I think we're launching V4 of it or something soon, which is, I don't think we talked about this, but I think we're going to stick SSO in the base plan.
Oh, I think we talked about that a long time ago. We're going to
try it.
Through it.
This thing where you charge people a bunch of extra money for single sign-on, and thus are sort of adding a tax where to have better security, they have to pay you more money, is kind of untuple-y. You know? Like, I sort of want us to be the kind of company where like that sort of thing just feels wrong. And so we're going to try not doing it. And so we're going to find additional stuff to put in that enterprise tier. There are some things that they want, generally more control and auditing and things like that. But I think for now, I think the basic breakdown is, if you want us to sign anything, you have to commit to this price level. We're going to publish our pricing, we're putting up tiered pricing on the pricing details page for the enterprise stuff. It says in bold, we do not negotiate pricing. So we're trying just like this is the price. Here's how it gets cheaper as you buy more. This is the price. We're not going to change it. If you don't want this or you find it annoying, you are welcome to go sign up for the other thing and give us a credit card, and we'll happily do that. We're great with that. That's the deal.
Nice. I mean, do you end up negotiating on price a lot today, or you mostly hold to this is the price, this is what it costs?
We've gone back and forth. Sometimes we hold our ground and sometimes we negotiate. But I'm interested in trying to basically just remove that ability from Steven's toolkit, just to be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I can't actually do that. My CEO says no, and just see what that does. Now, I think, to be clear, I'm not necessarily endorsing this approach for everyone. First of all, it's an experiment. Second of all, it almost certainly leaves money on the table. It's probably not the revenue maximization strategy, but it feels tuple-y. I like that it's kind of like, we'd rather not really sign custom legal agreements with lots of companies. It makes the business more complicated. We have to hang on to all these contracts and continue to follow them as long as they're in force. So it's like every time we sign one of them, it's like, okay, this is more administrative headache, effectively. Sure, making more money is nice, but it's really more like we almost are trying to disincentivize this approach, because it's not what Steven wants to spend his time on necessarily. It's not what we want to, how we want the company to be affected.
Yeah, it's like you're selling to enterprises and accommodating their needs for like audit logging and things like that, so that that's not a blocker to their team being able to use it. But you're not really interested in the whole like name a high price and always negotiate down off of it type of approach of sales. Like that's, yeah.
And again, that probably is not ideal. Probably better to like name a really high price and then negotiate.
Yeah.
I think, but we'll see.
But I would agree that feels the approach you're describing feels more tuple-y, and tuple's got a tuple, you know?
Yeah. And that's like a thing I've started saying, like we've been starting saying, and I sort of dig it as a thing. Like it feels like we're fleshing out our values informally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like, is this tuple-y? And it's like, we sort of think I have this amorphous definition of what that means. Mm-hmm. And we're kind of like honing in on it. And that feels really good to me.
Before you know it, you're going to have mission, vision, and values plastered all over your walls.
I mean, that's coming. I think over time we figure out what is tuple-y and then we write it down.
Yeah. There's a reason why companies do it. I mean, it's, yeah.
Yep. I think we're at
as long as you do it authentically, you know, and like, it feels like it's emergent from the way you guys operate and not this thing where you're trying to you know, go
exactly.
that way.
And it feels actually like a value or a principle because it's going to cost us money.
Yeah.
And reasonable people could take the other side of it.
Right.
It's not like we should make great software.
Yeah. It's like, duh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there are multiple ways to build a company, and several of them are valid, and we're choosing this one because of this reason. And we could make more money, for example. If we were optimizing for money, we could pick a different one, and it would make sense still. So yeah, I'm kind of digging it. It always felt crappy when someone would be like, hey, we want to turn on SSO for a thing. We'd be like, oh, yeah, no problem. We're just going to charge you twice as much. And they'd be like, what? And we'd be like, yeah, we know. We're adding one carrot to the enterprise pricing thing, which is active user pricing. So, which makes sense. So if you're an enterprise and you have a lot of users, it's sort of a pain to go in and trim out people. Oh, this person's not active anymore. Oh, this person hasn't used it in a while. Oh, they left the company. Definitely a pain the bigger you are. And so we're building in a thing where if someone hasn't used Tuple for, I think, 90 days, we'll just deactivate their thing and stop billing you for them. Yeah, which I think pairs well with like the higher price. It's like we're charging you more, but only for people that are really using it and removing this administrative burden from you. I feel pretty good about it.
Nice.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
It's like, so we're building a revenue contractor next to our revenue expander. But really that's just, it's fake revenue. It's zombie revenue.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make anybody feel good to, be like, oh, this person hasn't used it in, forever and we've been charged for getting charged for them. That's not.
Yeah. And what's the harm to, goodwill and increased churn risk and all that. Yeah.
And reluctance to invite a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you post this, like the sign up link in your public Slack channel and might have 1,000 developers follow it. Are you going to have to stay on top of that? And actually go through and make sure they're blah, blah, blah. Like that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So this is, I feel good about throwing that in there.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. Feels stupidly.
Mm-hmm.
Costs us money, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
But is like feels like the right thing to do there. So
yeah.
Plus, I think it aligns our incentives more, where it's like or it sort of helps light the fire under us, which is like idle users are, should be felt as pain to us, and this just makes it more direct. Like, oh, yep, that is pain. There's no less slack in the system to just be like, oh, well, they didn't really notice that this person wasn't using it, so
Yep. Cool. I like it.
Yeah. So that's that.
All right.
Cool. You want to wrap it?
Let's wrap it.
Notes of the show.
Notes of the show can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.